So today is going to be a quick video. I'm just thinning out my seedlings. I started them a couple of days ago, actually about 10 days ago. So I've got like 3 or 4 seedlings popping up in some cells, so I want to give them room to grow. Well, at least the one that I'm going to be keeping, I want to give them room to grow. So let's get started. Okay, so we can see my seedlings here. So I've got my marigolds, and then I have my tomatoes, more tomatoes. I've got some okra popped up here. My eggplant and my sage has popped up. I'm going to leave those ones for a little bit. I'm more concerned with the marigolds and maybe a few of the tomatoes. I'm going to give them a little bit of freedom from those cells because, you know, it's a 2-inch square. Actually, it might even be like a 1.5-inch square. So there's not too much room. They're not too tall. So I want to make sure that I give them plenty of room to grow. So I'm gonna set this down and show you how I thin them. So on here, I'm gonna be looking at this cell. So I've got 3 marigolds growing, and they all have their first set of true leaves, or at least their beginnings of true leaves. And this one kind of looks a little bit weak. It's got a bent stem. It doesn't seem as sturdy as the other ones, so I'm just gonna take that one out. And I just pinch it with my nails. You don't want to tug on these because you could disturb the roots of the ones that are growing the one that you want to keep. So now I get to choose between these two. So this one's growing straight, this one's kind of curved, but I mean, that's not really saying too much. This one has the stronger growth, I feel like. This one has the stronger growth, I feel like, so I'm going to take this one out. And that'll give that one a little bit more room to grow. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to pick. Okay, so I have thinned these out. There's only one cell that still has 2 left in it, and that's because these are still too young for me to decide which ones I want to go with. And I mean, I still have 12 healthy plants. So this will give them plenty of room to grow, the roots to develop, and not be too crowded to soak up all those nutrients that's in the seed starting mix, because there are some nutrients in there, and then I do feed them with my husband's aquarium water. So now I'm going to thin out some of my tomatoes, and if you're like me and you just get really sad because you've killed a bunch of plants, try to limit the amount of seeds that you sow per cell. I try to limit myself between 2 and 3 depending on how old the seed packets are. And here's just another look at all of the seedlings. These ones haven't come up yet. I planted them late, so I'm not surprised that they haven't germinated. I am surprised that the ground cherries haven't germinated. This is the first year that I'm growing them, and not sure why they haven't come up yet. I did put like 3 or 4 in there, so somebody should be in there. Hello? Hello? Anybody there? Hello? Yeah, nobody's home. Maybe I'll just sow them again. Or maybe I'm just destined not to have ground cherries. Okay, so I thinned out most of the marigolds. Most of the tomatoes were still too young for me to really thin them out. Anything that had 4, I tried to bring it down to 2 or 3. Mainly 2, but most of them had just 3 in there, so I left them. They're still really young. I wanted them to develop a little bit more before I started, plucking them out, because I want to make sure that I have the healthiest plants possible, and that's really after they have like their first set of true leaves and you kind of see how they do. I have the fan blowing, so I can also make sure that they get stronger stems, because that's what I'm looking for. I want to make sure that I have a strong, healthy plant. A little bit heartbreaking. There's all the seedlings that I killed. Like I said, if you're attached to your seedlings. Try not to sow as many seeds. 2 or 3 is good enough. Maybe don't do 4 or 5. I accidentally did 5 in a few. But you know, I'm really happy with how my marigolds are doing. They'll hopefully do better now that I've given them a little bit more space to grow. And then in about like 4 or 5 days, I'll probably go back through and thin out the rest of the tomatoes. So let me know what you guys are growing down below, and I'll see you in the next video.